So let's have a little chat, shall we? I know it's been a while since I made a video, but child, let me tell you, y'all know I have a boyfriend now, a real boyfriend, partner, whatever you want to call it, and he actually lives with me. Or some people may say a friend. I think I'm too old to say boyfriend, but let's just say I have a friend. It's so funny because I've known him for many years. I've known him since 2009. And, we used to, mess around on and off, but we became a lot closer last year when I was, homeless for a little while and I was living in a hotel. And he was coming over there seeing me all the time because he was concerned about me because he came to my apartment when I was displaced and he couldn't find me. So he was asking people, what had happened. And, they told him what had happened, and whatever the case may be. But, you know, it's so interesting because back in July, he just said, "Oh, I just need a place to stay for 3 days or whatever the case may be." But y'all know men. Y'all know men. Child, that 3 days has turned into damn near 2 or 3 months. He just moved in. He just moved in. Like he slept, sometimes he sleeps on the couch, sometimes he sleeps in the bed. I don't really like nobody sleeping with me in my bed. You know what I mean, child? I need my bed to myself. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I like to keep my fan on at night, and he doesn't like that. So we compromise. He sleeps on the couch or whatever the case may be. But I tell you one motherfucking thing, I don't have to pay no motherfucking bills no more. He pays all the motherfucking bills. He puts he puts plenty of money in my motherfucking hand. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that because, that's what it is. I would never let anybody stay with me who did not contribute because he can eat. He can eat. He eats more than I do. Shit, I eat like a damn bird. Although all of it goes to my backside. But anyway, but he just moved in. I mean, it was like only supposed to be for 3 days, but shit, it's been since July now in September. But I'm not complaining because he cleans up, takes out the trash. The only thing he doesn't do, he's really a manly man. I do all the cooking. I do clean up as well too. I clean up and do all this girly stuff. I do the cooking and stuff like that. He does not like cooking and he does not like grocery shopping. So I have to do all that. You know what I mean? And that's okay. I do all the cooking and grocery shopping. But he just moved in and I look, he gave up his apartment and moved in with me. He told me he was going to do that. I said, okay. And we have, it's interesting because we do have disagreements. We do have disagreements, but you know what? We talk through them. You know what I'm saying? And if we cannot talk, let me eat some ice, y'all. Mm, excuse me. If we cannot come to a resolution, we'll leave it there, and then we will come back another time, and we will try to resolve it. Because now, see, he's older than me. Excuse me. He's older than me. He's 50. He's 50, 51. I can't be exact. I think he's 51. I just turned 42 and don't look a day over 35, child, but that's another story. Okay. But he's older than me. So I'm learning how to be more conflict resolution savvy. You know, I don't talk crazy to him like I used to talk crazy to my prior boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a different type of man. And child, I was trying to get out of this motherfucking matrix. Boyfriend and girlfriend, all that shit. That keeps you in this motherfucking matrix, child. I had one foot out of the motherfucking matrix and it said, and brought him into my life as my full-time boyfriend. And see, I never thought that I would feel anything for any other man after Christopher Barry. I never thought that. I didn't think I could. I didn't think I had that in me anymore. And it was very scary because, I don't like feeling like I'm in love with somebody or I love somebody. I don't like feeling that because of what happened to my last boyfriend, Christopher Barry, you know, and it's just, it was just, it was. It's interesting because he didn't just moved in. He's just moved in. Um, and I don't think he's going nowhere no time soon. He just moved in, and I'm not helping the situation any because when he moved in, when he first moved in, he would eat out a lot. He would eat out a lot. And I must like him, child, because I done gave him a key and every motherfucking thing. And I leave him in my apartment by myself. I've never had a dude live with me before. I've never had a man live with me. I've never given no man no key. And I've never left a man in my apartment by himself. I've never done that. See, I can leave him in my apartment by himself and go to the store and do what I need to do and go run errands and go for a walk or go to the gym or whatever the case may be. I need to go to the motherfucking gym, truth be told. I really need to do that. Um, we done all got a little, whatever through this pandemic or whatever. But, you know, I can leave him here and I can trust him because he doesn't take anything away from me. He puts money in my motherfucking pocket. He takes care of me. You know what I'm saying? He really takes care of me. And it's not a vampiric type of energy because see, I was never used to this type and I'm not hurting for money or anything like that. It's not that I needed him to be here because I'm not hurting for money, but it's just that that's what he does. But he just moved in. He just moved in. And what I was going to say was that I don't think I'm helping the situation. And I'm joking when I say this. I don't think I'm helping the situation because, see, when he first moved in with me, he would eat out a lot. But then he noticed that I was cooked, that I cook. I don't like to eat out too much. I only eat out. Well, truthfully, since this whole pandemic shit, I'm getting ready to eat another piece of ice, y'all. Since this whole pandemic shit, I have really I haven't really been eating out a lot because I really don't trust a lot of these restaurants. So I don't order no damn pizzas. I go and get to the store and get me some pizza, from whatever the frozen pizza, I'll get that. And he noticed that I cooked a lot, and I would be like, "Do you want some of this? Do you want to try that?" He loves spaghetti. Spaghetti. He's very persnickety, and for people who don't know what that word means, he's particular about certain things. He only likes spaghetti. He don't really like chicken unless it's fried. You know, um, and there's certain dishes that I cook that he normally would not like. And what's interesting? He'll only eat my cooking, outside of maybe a few other people. He'll only eat my cooking because he said other people's cooking have made him sick. And he's very persnickety and funny about eating people's cooking. And see, I'm very clean. I'm a very clean motherfucking person when it comes to cooking. I wash my hands at least 5 or 6 times before I do any type of cooking because, and make sure you got to clean your fingernails and shit like that because you could have all types of things up in the crevices of you just never know. So I clean my hands profusely when I'm cooking for him or myself too. I'm very clean uh, when it comes to cooking and stuff like that. Why is this shit popping up right now when I'm doing a video? But he likes spaghetti. He likes meat. Manly stuff like steak and stuff like that. So I do the cooking. He don't like cooking. He likes tacos and stuff like that. So once I started cooking, he never left. He never left. Because he doesn't even eat out anymore because he knows that if I'm going that I'll cook. Like last night I made chicken parmesan, and he had never had that before. He said, "Let me see how this tastes." He tasted it and he was like, "Oh, he didn't eat his last night because he came in kind of late from taking care of some business, but he's going to eat it." You know what I'm saying? I'm not helping the situation. I'm not helping it. I'm not helping it. I'm, you know, feeding him and, so why would he want to go anywhere? Why would he want to go anywhere? But he pays his motherfucking way. He pays so he can eat whatever the fuck he want out of the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? He can eat whatever. I don't care nothing about that. And I'm not no real, I'm not a funny person about food. Food can be replaced. People cannot. And I really appreciate him. And I don't know how long this gonna last, but I'm just going to enjoy it while it does. You understand what I'm saying? And this is all part of the reality that I created for myself. And I'm going to tell you something. You never realize how lonely you are until someone is actually staying with you, because now I've gotten so used to him being here. One night he didn't come home. He stayed at his apartment because he was moving out of his. This was just the other night, as a matter of fact. He stayed at his apartment that he's no longer living in now, because now he moved in with me. And he stayed at his apartment that night. He called me and let me know. He always keeps me up to date where he's at. Oh, he's good at that. He lets me know where he's at. He'll text me and say, "Oh, I'm going to see my kids. I'm going to see that. I'm going to see my baby mama and my kids." Whatever the case may be, I'm good with that. Well, his ex baby mama. Well, you know what I'm saying. He ain't with her no more. He with me now. You know what I'm saying? So he lets me know. He lets me know what's going on with him. He lets me know this is where I'm going to be at. And if I call, he said, always call me if you need me. He lets me know that. So I did not realize that I was missing that in my life, because most of the men that I dealt with, let me be honest with you all, it was just sex. And I'm actually closer to him more than I was even to Christopher Barry. I'm closer to him more than I was to Christopher Barry, to be honest with you, because I've known him longer, you know? And I was in my 30s years ago back then, and now I'm more mature and I'm more seasoned, you know? And let me tell y'all something. Child, the sex demons are out. And I'm being facetious a little bit, but I'm kind of being serious as well. Ever since I've gotten into a full fledged relationship, if you can call it that, ex boyfriends are hitting me up. Into my ex boyfriends are hitting me up, trying to get back with me, trying to get me to cheat on my boyfriend, on my friend, trying to get me to cheat on him, telling me, oh, well, you know, he ain't got to know about it, and and this and that. I've explained, if they hit my phone up, and they don't have my, most of them don't even have my, some of them niggas don't even have my real phone number. Some of them have my Google number, okay? And they'll hit me up, oh, what's up? And I'll be like, nothing. What I rarely check my Google number unless it's for business, and because I give that number out for business shit too. So I've been getting, oh, what's going on? And like, listen, I have a boyfriend now, a living boyfriend. One guy, he was so upset with me. He sent me an emoji, the emoji with the hand over the eyes. Like I said, listen, life moves on whether you don't. People move on whether you don't. And a lot of these guys, they weren't trying to commit to me. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't really trying to commit to them. This is a person that I've known since 2009. I've known him for many years. And I hate to say it, but I'm starting to think that he's my motherfucking twin that was foretold in a reading that I got a long time ago. But I'm starting to think that. I don't know. I'm starting to think he's my twin. Um I don't know, but maybe. But these guys are trying, I mean, child, they are trying to, and some of them are really mad. They are really mad that I got a motherfucking boyfriend now and that I'm really not available. And don't get me wrong, I have my human urges. Sometimes I want to do things with other men, but you know what I think about? I think about my friend, and I'll be like, look, if I invite some, because I don't go to nobody else's house. I ain't going to nobody else's house. But if I invite a motherfucking nigga over here, and my friend come in that motherfucking door with that key, I don't want to deal with that type of motherfucking energy, child. I think about that. And that kind of, because I mean, we human, we have thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But child, I will just indulge myself in those thoughts and keep it the motherfucker moving, because it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. But see, Here we go with the occult and the spirit. These men that are trying to contact me, they are sex demons. They are sex demons. They are operating from their sex demonology side. Trying to tempt me into having sexual relationships with them because I've raised my vibration and my frequency where I'm no longer manipulated by a big black dick. Okay, what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying? So now those low-level sex demons, they're now trying to reattach themselves to me now that I've lifted myself up out of that, because me and my friend, we ain't even gotta be having no sex and shit like that. Everything ain't always about no sex and all that. It's about companionship. And I'm learning that now. Just like last night, I was sitting out there, we were talking, and I was touching him and, stuff like that. Sorry to my heterosexual men that's listening to this, but, I am a gay person, so you're going to have to either deal with it or unsub. It's your motherfucking choice, okay? No disrespect. But it's really not all about sex, and I'm really learning that now. It's not about sex. It's about companionship for the most part. If we have sex, we do. If we don't, we don't. But I really enjoy him being here, and I did not realize how lonely I really was until he came to stay with me. I didn't realize the void that was really there that I was pretending that wasn't. You understand what I'm saying? And I can be honest with myself. Now, it wasn't that I was, lonely, 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 but I do realize now that he's here, and I can admit this, because that's what I do. I'm the occult view, and I call myself out too. I can admit that I was dealing with some bouts of loneliness, because when you're by yourself all the time, you get accustomed to being by yourself. You don't get accustomed to sharing and stuff like that. And this is still an adjustment to me, for me. He does things that annoy me all the motherfucking time. You know what I'm saying? But what I do is I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, you really, I'll say something like that. I'm like, come on now. But what I have to remember is that his heart is in the right place. And he's really a sweet, caring person. And anybody that treats me good, and anybody that is patient enough to put up with my crazy motherfucking ass, child, they must be a motherfucking saint. I told him that. I said, I don't know why you want to be over here with my crazy motherfucking ass. And he said, well, I don't think you're crazy, seer. I said, child. I don't know why you want to be over my crazy ass. But anybody that's willing to, put up with me, they have to be a saint. They have to be a saint. And of course, I'm being facetious, but you all get what I'm saying. But I just wanted to give you all an update and just say what's up, and also show you how when you raise your vibration, there are people who are on that low level demonology level, or that sex demon level, that try to pull you back in. And I've noticed that these dudes that I used to mess with, they're on a much lower vibrating frequency. See, I was not. I was just lowering my frequency to deal with them. And now they're trying to pull me back into that by trying to entice me with sex. Oh, come on, he doesn't have to know. And, oh, no, let's just, it's not going to be bad. And then one of them had the nerve to tell me, oh, it's not really cheating if he doesn't know, and all this old bullshit. You know what I'm saying? All this bullshit that they try to throw at you and tell you, so they can drag you back down to that level. You feel what I'm saying? So anyway, you got to be careful of those sex demons. And well, ain't nothing to be afraid of. But this is the real sex demons, not the bullshit that we've seen on on other people's platforms about, sex demons, and them motherfuckers don't even know what the fuck they talking about. They don't even know how sex demons really operate, especially the low level ones that some of those motherfuckers deal with. They're there to pull you back down into that lower frequency, and these motherfuckers are dumb enough to be having sex with them. If you're not getting anything out of it, if it's not helping you to raise your vibration and your frequency, if it's not helping you to raise your frequency, rather, or your energy, then what the fuck is the point? Because see, any entity that I deal with or any energies that I deal with is going to help me raise my frequency. But see, that's above a lot of people's thought process. You know, motherfuckers think they know every motherfucking thing, but they don't really know shit. You know, the vibration is the movement. The energy is the spirit. The frequency is what you can hear on a spiritual level. Okay? So the vibration is actually the wisdom because wisdom is movement. Wisdom is understanding and knowing. That's the vibration. That ties into the wisdom. And the frequency is what you can hear. And a lot of people cannot hear the higher vibrating frequencies. You understand what I'm saying? So I recognize how these sex demons have been trying to, and they work, and people tap into that part of themselves, and how they can, and how they're working through other people, but it's only them working in a lower aspect of their own spirit, and how they can try to entice you when you disconnect. See, I don't hear that frequency too much anymore because I raised my vibration and my frequency up from that. I was already on a high frequency, but the problem was I kept lowering my frequency to deal with other people, and not just sexually, but just in general. And I just brought up the sex demons because I recognize those energies and how they're trying to entice me, because there are demons for everything. You know, there are demons for food, demons for sex, demons for love, demons for pleasure, demons for everything. All demons are not bad. It's not a question of bad or good. It's a question of what frequency are you hearing? What frequency are you tapping into? Energy, spirit, frequency is what you hear. That's the spiritual frequency that you can tap into, or that you are aligned with, or what you can sense. And the vibration is the movement. And I'm moving in a constant higher elevation. I remember a good friend of mine who passed away in the spring. She was an older lady. Her name was Marie. And she told me, she said she was a witch. She was a powerful witch. She said, Seer, let me tell you something. She said, your life is on an upswing. She told me your life is on an upswing right now. And she said, it's going to continue to be on an upswing. And shout out to Miss Marie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me that wisdom. That's the vibration. That's the vibration. You know, that's the vibration. But that's really all I really had to say. I don't really have a lot to say. I'm getting ready to motherfucking chill, finish looking at some YouTube videos. Um, and that's about it. You know, I really don't have a whole lot to say. Oh, they said, oh, one more thing. I see Greg Leaks has passed away. Nini's husband. Let me just drop this. I'm gonna go. That's interesting because, well, just interesting. Interesting. But you all do remember that they said that his cancer storyline was fabricated to give Nini a storyline. Now, I didn't want to say that. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but, that's what they had said back then. So, you know, I don't know, but I feel bad for his son. I'm not a Nini fan like that, but I feel bad for his son and for the people and his children, because he had a lot of children, if I'm not mistaken. So, But that's a tough cookie for them, you know. Feel bad for them. But I'm just looking at the ritual. I'm not going to get into it, but you can see it. You can definitely see it. You can definitely see the ritual. And while we're at it, let me say this too. Cora Masters Barry, the widow of Marion Barry, and I've talked about her before, and she is not Christopher's mother. I do not want people thinking that she's Christopher Barry's mother. His mother was Effie Barry. But I want to say this right here. She is running around pretending to be a revolutionary. How are you a revolutionary when you are promoting fear tactics against black people when it comes to that, the stick in your arm? Y'all know what I'm talking about. How are you a revolutionary when you're sitting up on your Facebook page using mind control and magic to instill fear in black people to go and get that stick inside of themselves? And I'm not promoting anybody not to get it or to get it either way. But what I'm saying is that she's a revolutionary. No, she's not a revolutionary. And she's trying to pretend that she's a revolutionary. Her, along with her and those other fake revolutionaries like Tamika Mallory and the rest of those motherfuckers who are pretending to be revolutionaries when they're not. They're just milking money and energy off of the names of dead black women and dead black men, and the families are not seeing anything or any justice or any real progress. They're just, using their names and their energies to be rubbing elbows with Jay-Z and other celebrities. I just had to throw that in there too. I was getting ready to go, but I knew it was something else I had to talk about. She's setting up, I'm talking about Cora Masters Barry, because, Tamika Mallory is her protege, if that's the right word. She's sitting up on Facebook trying to instill fear, Cora Masters Barry, in black people to get that thing in their arm. You know motherfucking well, and I know motherfucking well, that Marion Barry, nor would Christopher Barry, I know, well, I can't say for Marion Barry, but I know for fact, I know without a shadow of a doubt, Christopher would not be promoting no motherfucking getting that thing in your arm. He would not be promoting that. And I really can't see his father promoting that either, because they were real revolutionaries. And she's trying to use that energy now to make her to keep herself relevant in DC politics. Very interesting. You see how people use this fake illusionary shit to try to instill fear in black people. Then she's running around lying to black people, keeping black people trapped in a lower frequency and a lower vibration, or keeping black people trapped in a lower frequency, rather. Take the vibration out of it, where you can't hear the higher frequencies that are telling you, there's something foul in that motherfucker's potato salad. See, that's what people like her are here to do, to keep you in a lower frequency. Fear is a lower frequency. She's up on Facebook posting a picture, an animated picture of a cemetery with people making so called excuses as to why they did not get the stick in their arm. And on each person's headstone, it says, I didn't get it for this reason, I didn't get it for that reason. But the goal and the point is trying to push fear that if you don't get it, you're going to end up in the cemetery. And I think that's disgusting. And I think that is so vile for somebody of her stature to do something like that, to try to promote that type of fucking fear. If you want to get it, you go right ahead and get it. You do what's best for you. Okay? But to sit up and to portray yourself as a revolutionary but trying to instill fear. That's fear. That's low frequency. And when you're on a low frequency, you can't hear. See, I already know what I need to know about that fucking hooker. Yeah, I said it. I already know what I need to know about her. Her husband came to me in the spirit, and I'm not going to say what he showed me, but I know she ain't no good. And I don't give a fuck who in DC get mad about it. Y'all know me. Y'all know I got to get a little messy sometimes. But that shit she's doing, that's some fucked up shit because she's on a lower frequency. Excuse me. She's on a lower frequency and she's trying to keep black people in DC on that same lower frequency of fear. Hmm. But that's a pattern for her. That's a pattern for her. Anyway, that's all I have to say. This is Sia Grant, aka The Occult View, BKA Bagugavat, and I just wanted to give my little bit of talk. All right.